So just before it's announced that you've brought in the ringmaster, in your house season beatings, Savio Vega was throwing merch into the crowd with Santa Claus. You told Savio that you could buy him, that you two started arguing, and Santa attacked Vega. You left with Santa, but Vega ran from the ring and attacked him, pulling off his hat, wig, and beard, revealing him to be John Rickner, previously known as Boo Bradley in Smoky Mountain, and soon to be known as Balls Mahoney in ECW. The next night on Raw, they gave his new ring name as Xanta Claus and made it clear that he was from the South Pole and stole presents. Ted, this is absolutely brutal. What do you remember about this whole thing?
I'm trying to forget. Yeah. Well, I remember what you just said. to be real honest with you, I mean, it was like, it was, it wasn't the greatest thing that the $1 Million Man was ever involved in. That's for sure.
Ooh, man. And,
Yeah.
it's the fact that that's all you know about it is not surprising because there's really not much else to say about the whole thing because
Yeah.
it was like a week or so later, he was just gone. I think that there was a mix up between himself and Vince. And next thing you know, he's gone and, off to ECW to go form his legacy. But man, I mean, when you hear about creative like this in those days, so just more context, you're a manager at this point, you're not a worker anymore. However, that when somebody comes to you with an idea that's maybe kind of shitty, are you speaking up or are you just like, hey, whatever, just sign the checks?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like you can let your, and when I can't remember who went over that with us, I just was rolling my eyes and, not in front of the guys, but just with the guy who was going to be producing that segment. I said, whose idea is this anyway? And he said, well, Vince. I said, okay. I mean, it ain't gonna, you're not gonna argue with the boss. He's done a lot of good things, and of course, like everybody, there's things he's done that a lot of people have rolled their eyes at. But hey, you know what? When you're the guy with all the money and paying everybody's way, you can do whatever you want to do.
Man, you had a nice long career. I know another guy that you know
Absolutely.
well. I know another guy that you know well. Arn Anderson had a nice long career, and Arn's whole thing was, and I mean, it's been 40 years, and Arn is still working nonstop in professional wrestling. And one of the things that Arn always says is like, "Hey, look, when the guy who writes the checks tells you to do something, you just do it."
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is exactly what you guys did, and it sucked, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes strikes and gutters, man. Um,